guys, this is Dormouse03.
And I'm Iron Praetorian.
Welcome to another Ramblings of Mad People. And I think it's extra mad today.
It really is.
I've
just got off an 8-hour shift that finished at 10 PM, so yeah, a bit tired. But I should be fine.
Yep.
That's also to do with why this one's a little bit later than we planned again, because I got a job.
Which is yay.
Which is yay.
So, we've been doing stuff and things.
We have, which may or may not have included Destiny on my part.
Right. You've been doing lots of Destiny.
Yeah, it gets its claws into me when new DLC comes out.
Right, well, I think, you were doing stuff, though, like leveling up and trying to get the achievements.
Yeah, exactly. I was aiming to get the raid done before the hard raid came out, which I got done last night, finally.
Yay! Alright, so before we get too into talking about Destiny, because that's kind of later on your list of things,
exactly.
Right? We will head back, rewind time, back to a month ago, when we were playing NBA 2K17, the Prelude.
Oh my god, that game. It's so bad.
It's just so sports.
Creepy. Not creepy, but kind of so staged.
Yeah. Well, so I want to say this. Like, kudos for them trying to create something different,
like a story
with
basically.
Sports titles, so
that's cool. Yeah,
it looks like, and I don't know whether or not 2K had planned to do this before we saw the whole EA thing. I mean, they had to have had, didn't they? Like, they couldn't have just shoehorned
you mean
that in.
Like the FIFA story mode,
right? Yes,
thing.
The FIFA like career mode or whatever.
Well, they've had career mode before, but you never actually had any of the off-pitch stuff, because I did career mode when I used to play FIFA, but basically just create your own character and then play through seasons, and then you could eventually become a manager, and then you could manage the team, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it would feed into itself. But yeah, I don't see that they'd have been able to do enough work on it to shoehorn it in.
Between E3 and now.
E3 and now.
So I mean, it's cool that they and EA have both had, the idea that, like, we want to give this a little bit more interest or whatnot, do a little bit more with the thing rather than have straight up, we're just going to play sports matches or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like you can have a life out off the pitch kind of thing, where how you play the game affects like a person rather than, it's just a player, if I lose a match my team doesn't get as many points kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas it's going to impact somebody kind of now.
Yeah. Well, because I think the conversation that you have with your coach or whatnot is different depending on how well you play in the matches. Like, you either are like, oh yeah, I did awesome, or you have the conversation like, yeah, we lost and I sucked.
Yeah.
So
it's just kind of, it was cool that it was free. I also heard that there may have been problems with some people unlocking the achievements and losing characters and stuff.
Yeah, but we didn't have any
you
of
and
that,
I
thank goodness.
Had no problems. But you and I seem to have fairly stable internet, so I don't know if it's anything to do with that.
Yeah. Well, I was animal sitting at the time when we played that,
yes.
And that internet, I mean, I think it was a better internet speed, but the connection was iffy a little bit.
It was more iffy on your 360 than your one, or was it the one that was having the trouble?
I never had my 360 over there.
So it was the one. Yeah. I remember now, yeah, because we were going to play another game on your 360, but we waited until you'd finished.
Yes. So, anyway, I don't know what it was. And it could have been that, like, the servers were bad at certain points or whatever.
Yeah, and you and I have never played a 2K sports title before.
Right. So
and
it was
this game
interesting.
really, yeah, it was interesting, but it doesn't make me want to buy NBA 2K17 and have my terrible looking character continue. The really funny thing is I watched Achievement Hunter play the first few matches, but what they did was they used the scan face function, and it looked awful. It's like they scanned Jeff's face in, and it looked like his character, like one of his eyes was all wonky, and one was like set in, and his skin tone was completely different halfway down. And basically the other guys were like, "Please kill me, I'm an abomination." And it just looked terrible when he talked, because his face was all pushed in, like it was like completely flat. It didn't look like it had any, like, it was so funny.
Oh dear.
But thankfully neither of us used Kinect, so we couldn't scan our faces
No,
onto
we
our
didn't
characters.
scan. And it would have been weird for me to scan my face into a male character.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that would have been hilarious.
Right.
To see our abominations.
So basically what I did was I made mine I made him sort of Jon Snow looking. So I gave him a little man bun and black hair and a little bit of stubble and whatnot.
I went for default character 7 or something and just went with that one.
And I named
like I always do, because a character creation for me is like, someone, that thing, yeah, that one.
I enjoy character creation. And I named mine Crouching Potato.
Yeah, I really should have named mine something other than my name.
It was great. Just potato on the back and then, "Hello, Crouching, how are you?" Like, nobody actually said that, but like in the text or whatnot.
Yeah.
It would refer to you as Crouching.
Follow Crouching Potato's career.
Yeah.
As they get turned into chips.
Right.
Or in this well, chips for me means something different, but...
Right. So I'm thinking potato
Fries.
chips, but you're thinking fries. But both of them come from potatoes. So,
potatoes, yeah, so it works.
It works out.
But anyway.
Anyway, 2K17 the Prelude, it was fine. It was free.
Yeah,
it was fine. It was short.
And the mechanics worked fine. It seemed like it was a fairly reasonable game.
Yeah, in terms of actually playing basketball, it was fine. And I mean, like we said, we haven't played a basketball game before, so we were able to, get in there and make some shots and get some 3-pointers and do some stuff and things.
And then lose. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know if it's still free, but if you guys want to grab it, it's a good way to see whether you'll like a basketball game or not.
Yeah, indeed. What was your next thing, Mr. Sir?
My next thing was Dark Souls 2.
Ah, yes. Mine too.
Yeah, because we played it co-op, like we did with Scholar of the First Sin.
Right.
Well,
I had already
they
played
had
it, but...
Yeah, they had it on sale for like $3.75, and I was like, well, that's a bargain, because that thing, it's going to take me at least a week to complete, so it's going to keep me busy for a while. And I wanted to compare it to Scholar in that they changed some of the enemy spawns, number of enemies, where certain items were, and where certain characters were. So, like, the body of Vengal is in a different place in Scholar. I actually thought the original was a better game, especially with certain things. Like, Scholar, for me, they kept putting things in areas too early for me. So, like, the Dull Ember is in the Bastille, and you can get it straight away. And it's like, Dark Souls has always been about, you find a character who needs something, you do have to go through a few areas to get it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were also talking about enemies as well. Like, all of a sudden there's something that's like it's a higher level character in a much earlier area,
That too. But I was more thinking of, like, specifics. So, like, the body of Vengal is in the Shaded Woods in Scholar, but he's in Brightstone Cove to Sildora in the normal version.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't get his armor until later in the game, in 2. But they moved it a lot closer to the start. kind of thing for Scholar.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it kind of depends on which path you take through the game, but if you're taking the path that most people would take, then yes.
Well, you can't get to Brightstone
That's
Cove
true,
without going through the Shaded Woods.
So you'd have it at least a little bit earlier.
If you explored.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I don't think that... And the trouble with Scholar is it felt that it was geared more towards multiplayer and summoning, because they increased the number of summons. They also increased how many summons you can have at one time with certain bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of enemies. Because we went through certain areas and I was like, oh, this enemy isn't here. I think Shaded Woods, I was like, oh, there's none of those phantom guys.
Yeah.
Which made it so much more fun than, oh god, what the hell's attacking me? Obviously, in the shaded bit, there were still enemies. But yeah, the connection was fine. It was basically dead, which meant that we didn't get summoned much by other people.
Right.
Apart from that one guy in the Undead Crypt who knew that we didn't want to be summoned because we messaged him, and he still summoned anyway.
Yep. And it's like,
and I threw myself off a cliff instantly.
Just, please,
stop.
We don't want to play with you.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it again, and I think Dark Souls 2 is my favourite Dark Souls game. But the bosses from 3 are better
than the bosses from 2.
2, but overall I preferred 2.
Yeah.
To 3.
Let the crucifixions begin.
I don't really mind. I don't care if people have differing opinions. That's cool.
Nah. I mean,
you know,
I think for me they're all very close. I mean, I can't really
Dark
say
Souls
that
1 for me is still not as good, but I've only played through once, so...
Yeah. And... I don't know. Dark Souls 1... There are things about all of them that I like, and things about all of them that I think could use work. And, you know, I don't know. For me, they're all very close in quality and enjoyability, and so it's really kind of hard to say. I guess I would probably, if I had a gun to my head, say that 3 I like the best at this moment.
Cool.
But, you know,
I think
2 was very fun. 1 was really good. I think
the trouble I had with 3, for me, was there too many areas that had frame rate issues when I played it.
Yeah, there were a lot of frame rate issues. That's true.
And also magic, when I played it, was not as fun as the magic from 2.
No. And I think magic, even still, is not as... It's just not as good in 3 as it is in the others. It just isn't. Because the enemies are much faster and the casting speeds are much slower unless you pump a lot of points into the stats that make it faster. So...
Yeah. But all in all, we had fun playing 2.
Yes, we did.
Although I distracted you for too long that we've taken like a month off playing any co-op games so you can get through a bit of your backlog, which is funny.
Yeah.
But we knew that was going to happen anyway because I was like, yeah, you know, when Destiny comes out, I'm probably not going to be playing anything else at least for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So, it was fun.
It's been good.
And Dark Souls is fun, and I like doing it.
Yeah.
So, we had a good time doing that.
We did indeed.
And,
so what was your next game?
The next thing on my list was Fallout 4 DLC. So, Nuka World.
Which I'd done previously, but didn't want to talk about it because you hadn't played it yet.
For me. And so
I guess, are we going to have a little in-depth chat about it?
Yeah,
so
we'll have a
spoiler
little bit.
warning here for people that haven't played Nuka World.
Right.
You have been warned.
I don't know that there's a whole lot to spoil, but... Yeah.
No, that's true. But yeah, so you and I both went into it not really knowing too much about what was going on other than raiders and a theme park.
Yep.
And then we find out that most of the raiders, if not all of them, are all douchebags, and we don't particularly like them.
I mean, they're raiders, so...
Exactly. Yeah, but those pack...
twits.
Guys.
Yeah, and then just the
have
psychotic
animals fighting
ones.
each other. And the psychos. Yeah, the cat people were fine. I am purposely gave everything to the psychos just to see which of the other two would not like me.
Right.
And it turned out to be the Cap people. So,
yep.
Full beast mode. It's, that idiot. I can't even remember his name, but the leader of the pack.
Mason, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's still alive.
Like a mason jar?
Sadly.
Yeah,
Mason
he's dead
idiot.
in mine. I gave most of my stuff to the operators. Those were the people who wanted just to make money. So I gave most of the stuff to them, and then I gave a couple of things to the psychotic people. I don't remember what the name of their gang was right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about it.
It's the operators, the pack, and the psycho death people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psycho, murder, kill.
But anyway, so
torture.
basically you go to the Nuka World theme park. You're tasked with basically clearing out all the areas and then giving particular areas to particular gangs. Once you've done that, it kind of sends you back to the not capital wasteland. That would be a lie. Back to the Massachusetts wasteland.
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth. Jeez.
Commonwealth is what it's called.
The Commonwealth. So basically it sends you back to the Commonwealth and says, oh yeah, those settlements that you've been happily building up for the past X number of months? Yeah, you can just, give them to raiders and let them take them over and...
Potentially just murder all the
supply
people
them.
that are on them, Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You want me to go and give you all of the places? Because I have all of them are all settlements for me.
Yeah.
You basically want me to give you my settlements that have been productively working together to build a new world and a new future, so they can then supply you with goods so you can be raiders. At that point, I was like, yeah, don't think I'm going to have this as my official playthrough of the game if there's another method for which we can get an ending for this DLC, which we'll talk about later.
So you just killed everyone.
Pretty much. All the raiders, they were
Yeah.
destroyed, and then I freed all of the merchants that were in the slave market area, and they took over Nuka World instead.
Yay.
And victory was mine.
Dun,
But
dun, dun, dun.
also, if you make any settlements, raider settlements in the Commonwealth, Preston Garvey won't talk to you anymore.
Yeah, he's
Which
pissed.
is a blessing and a curse. But the point being is, in our games, he was glitched anyway, so he wouldn't talk to us.
Yeah. Good old Preston Poopy Face, who wouldn't talk to me or let me turn in quests and stuff after the
He
main
let
game
me
was
turn in
over.
quests eventually. I'm not entirely sure what happened to fix that. Just time and maybe me shooting him in the face 15 times until he fell over on the
Maybe.
floor. Hell.
Still can't kill Mama Murphy. So...
No, but Marcy Long you can. I sniped her from the other side of the Commonwealth. Wow. The other side of Sanctuary, and I was like, bye. Bye, Marcy Long.
she
I
was
hate you.
such a bitch.
She was. But Mama Murphy, for me, is on the top of my guard tower that's like 7 stories high on a chair. And she's trapped up there. Because she's just useless. She doesn't do anything.
Except ask you for drugs and die.
Well, you could kill her. You could kill her with the drugs.
Yeah, that's
the only
true.
way you can dispose of her.
But then Piper
But,
dislikes me, so...
Yeah, but you don't have to have Piper with you. You could send Piper to Red Rocket. I was going to say Red Rocket Cafe, but it's not, because I'm
Here,
thinking
Piper,
of...
you go over here. Red Rocket gas station or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
But,
you go over here for a little while. Oh, Mama Murphy's gone. I don't know what happened.
There's you injecting her with Psycho and Jet at the same time. But yeah, so we then proceeded to go back to Nuka World and clear up our achievements for getting... Well, they had all the mixer stuff, didn't they, for the different flavours of Nuka Cola that you could get different buffs with by taking them.
Right.
And we didn't talk about all the different areas. There was like
There was a
Haunted Mansion
area. There was a like Western town.
Western. There was like Tarzan.
Yeah.
And instead of alligators and crocodiles, it was
Gator claws.
gator claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
That
fun.
was cool. So that was like death claws, but crocodiles.
Yeah.
Well, alligators.
Yep. And then they had the bottling facility.
The bottling facility that had been taken over by Mirelurks, and they were called Nuka because they drunk the Nuka-Cola.
Right. They were all blue and radioactive.
And then the poison, or radiation infected theme. It was like the theme park bit, but it was like, you know where the ghouls were.
Right, the fun house, the kitty
fun
castle.
House, the fun house and the Dodgems and the Ferris wheel and stuff like that. That place was cool.
Yeah.
But it bugged on me once.
Huh.
Where he wouldn't go down into the basement where you turn the gas stuff off so you could find out where he was. Huh. It just didn't work. It just kept turning itself back on without him saying anything.
Well, that's annoying.
So I had to reload the save. Which was annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what was annoying was trying to kill 40 of the wasteland, the Nuka World creatures, while buffed by a Nuka mixer flavour thing.
Right.
Which took forever, because some seemed to count and some didn't seem to count, and it's like if you had a companion with you and they did any damage to them, it didn't count, kind of thing.
That's weird.
Well, because it seemed to take us you and I both, quite a while to get that one done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it was with that one.
Like whether it was you were using one that had 2 buffs, and if one of the buffs disappeared, then it didn't count because you weren't buffed by the whole thing.
Right, or if it was
because I think I ended up using
I feel like mine was because I had a companion with me.
That's what I was saying to you, is because the companion was getting damage on them, the kill wouldn't count.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that I really feel like that was what it was, because once I sent Kate away, because she was the one that I took with me because she didn't care about the raiding.
when I took Piper with me and then attacked a Minutemen patrol because the raiders said that they needed me to clear them out, Piper turned on me and beat me to death with a bloody great hammer.
Because she always picks up miniguns and hammers.
Well, no, because I gave her that,
yeah, I know.
Child of Atom hammer thing.
Yeah,
and
I
she
know.
basically just kept knocking me out, so I couldn't escape. So I'd move a little bit, and then she'd be like, "Hiya!" and it, kneecap me again.
Yikes.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't like the raiding side of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I didn't.
But
like that either.
I did like the Nuka World attraction stuff, and there was the Space World, or Galaxy stuff with all the robots, and you could do the side quest to get people a bunch of space suits, and then accidentally kill them in a roller coaster like I did because I'm an idiot.
I did not kill them. They all survived my little...
Well, I inadvertently put 4 power cores
force
in.
Things.
Spinners, yeah.
Yeah, because it was
looks like a UFO. Yeah, I inadvertently put 4 power cores in instead of 3 and their heads all fell off. They were rolling around on the floor.
Oh,
I was like, oh.
Poor people.
Because I thought that was what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, until I said... Because I was like, oh, okay, we'll turn this on. And you're like, and then their heads all exploded. I'm like, no, they are fine.
Did you put 4 in?
Do?
Well, because I was just clicking on it thinking I didn't read the text, I guess. That said, don't put 4 in, because you'll kill them.
Yep.
Yeah, so they died. But it's fine, because my save doesn't exist. Basically what happens is I go to Nuka World and all the raiders die, and then I let everyone go, and Preston Garvey is still my friend that won't talk to me.
Yep.
But the thing is, he should talk to me, because I set off the alarm when I blew the Institute up, and that's the reason why he doesn't talk to you. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's just glitchy. Because it's Fallout 4. So...
Yeah, it has its bugs. But
it was fun. I really enjoyed this DLC. This and Far Harbor
so did
were quite good, I thought.
Yep, they were the 2 best DLCs. By far, Harbour. By far, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably enjoyed Far Harbor slightly more than this one. But only slightly.
I did too.
I think Far Harbor was a little bit bigger.
I think with the ability to just help the merchants, kill all the raiders, and then explore Nuka World, that's fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they gave you that option is cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give over my settlements in the Commonwealth to them, because, you know, I want the Commonwealth to be built up, you know, into a functioning society, hopefully.
Yeah.
With the Institute gone and the Brotherhood of Steel gone.
Did you do the Sierra Petrova?
Sierra Petrova?
The Cappy glasses?
No, I didn't.
Find
I
all
didn't
the hidden
do
Cappies? I thought it was
No.
so cool that they had her because she was in Fallout 3. And
Oh, sorry, yeah. She was the Nuka lady enthusiast from 3, right?
Yeah.
No, I talked to her, but I never finished the mission.
Yeah, so I went back and found all the little hidden Cappies, and then went back and do you want me to tell you what happened? Do you mind?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's fine.
And so then you go back and you can open the door into Brad Burton's, the guy who created Nuka-Cola's office.
Yeah.
And when you get in there, instead of because she's wanting the formula, like the original formula.
Yeah.
Because she's like, Nuka-Cola's the best thing in the world, and she has all this merchandise and whatnot, and she's
I did
she's
talk
just
to
funny.
her, so I know who you mean.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
I'm just saying it for folks who may not remember her, but she had the little Nuka-Cola museum.
She was the one that you had to collect like 100 Nuka-Cola Quantums for,
Right,
in the
and-
original, or 50.
Yeah, in Fallout 3, and she would then make she made Nuka pies. She made something
She
out of
basically
them.
made like Nuka stuff for you,
Yeah,
like different recipes using Nuka-Cola.
yeah. So anyway, it was cool to see a character from another game.
Yeah, I always like that. It's like finding Mike the Liar in an Elder Scrolls game, because he's always there.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I remember you from before. How are you still alive? It's like 200 years later. There are many Mike the Liars.
Yeah, so it was cool. And then you go into his office, and she was trying to find the recipe, but instead you find out that he had signed up a contract with the military to do some research for like weapons.
Right.
In exchange for putting him in this program that would basically make him immortal. So his head's in a jar, still alive in the office. He's sort of trapped there, and he basically asks you to kill him, and you can get some stuff. But then she's like, "No, don't kill him. He's like the best person ever, and we could get so much information from him or whatnot." And so basically you could get like this cool weapon, or you could not kill him and complete the mission for Sierra, and she gives you like a jumpsuit.
So you get the cool weapon.
No, I got the jumpsuit, but
So you didn't kill him.
I didn't kill him. But
Do you know what you should be able to do? If you have the Automatron DLC, you should be able to put that head
into
as
a
like
body.
a robo brain.
Yeah, that
on
would
a
be
body.
cool. That would be really cool if you could
I
do
hate
that.
you all. I'm coming to kill you as a Protectron. Like,
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I don't think you can do that for him.
no, sadly, but that would be cool.
But
Nice. No, I think that might have been one of the few side missions I didn't do that I found.
yeah, no, I liked that one. It had some neat little stuff. I really liked the haunted mansion as well.
Yes, so did I.
I thought
Especially
that was
when
cool.
you get to the end.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, she's not there, but she is. Dun, 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 dun.
So yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought the areas were nifty, like just the amusement park itself and the different enemies that were the few like new ones, and the like two-headed deer thing. Were cool.
The like, well, the antelope ones, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then the double-headed like African buffalo ones,
Right. Yep.
like the Brahman, but buffalo instead.
Yep.
And those worms.
And the worms. Yep. The little...
Get away from me!
Blood
It's like
worms.
Tremors all over again.
Yep. It was. So that was cool. I did enjoy that DLC. I don't think that the season pass was worth $60.
No, and I agree, because we had 2 effective title updates for Wasteland.
Workshop and contraptions
Workshop.
and building crap. Yeah.
Yeah, that basically is title update material. It's construction set stuff. It's not worth
Yep.
$30, £20.
Yeah. And then the vault creator was barely more than that. It had a little bit more to it, but it was minimal.
No,
then the
it
Mechanist was okay, but just
the Mechanist
not too
is
long.
probably the 3rd best DLC.
Yeah.
I would say the best one was Far Harbor, then Nuka World, then the Mechanist, then the Vault, and then the other 2.
We're just glorified
I'd probably say the
title updates.
Contraptions one was the worst one, and the animal trapping one was probably a little better than that.
Yeah, well, because at least it had a little bit more, like a slight bit more to it than literally it just added assets into your
Yeah,
builder.
it's like, please build 100 items. So I was like,
Steel
okay, I'm just going to build steel balls. And then halfway through realised that there was a place that would store them instead of chucking them all on the floor.
Steel ball, steel ball. 20 minutes later, steel ball, steel ball. God, do I have this achievement yet? Yeah.
Done unlocking. What?
Nah, thankfully.
No.
So anyway, yeah, I still don't think that season pass, they should not have increased the price, because it's just ridiculous, but the content was good.
Yeah.
The ones that were actually true expansions, or not, I don't know that I would call them expansions. I'd call them good DLC.
If you, I guess, consider Blood Moon for Morrowind to be an expansion,
Yeah,
I would say maybe
Yeah.
Far Harbor would be an
I
expansion.
guess that's right.
But that's the only one.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Nuka World was an entirely different area.
It was,
So-
that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be the size of Tribunal. Because they're classed as expansions, so I'm thinking
Yeah.
kind of like maybe those 2.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think they would qualify probably as expansions.
But the other one's definitely
But the
not.
other one's definitely not. So they're the horse armor DLC,
Yep.
basically. Anyway, moving swiftly forward. What was your next
Mm-hmm.
thing?
My next thing was Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor.
Ah, cool.
Again. Because that was another one that was on sale the week after Dark Souls 2 was, so I bought that one. And I was like, let's see if the achievements work this time. And, funnily enough, being on the 360, all of them popped at exactly the right time. And I enjoyed the game again because it didn't have any of that shitty DLC.
Right. Go figure. It's more enjoyable when the achievements actually work, and when
there
it
isn't
doesn't
an
have
added-on
crappy
challenge
DLC.
mode? Yeah. Really? Really quite fun. Yeah, you're pulling a weird smile that no one's going to be able to see.
I know.
So yeah, Shadow of Mordor, great game. Enjoyed the combat mechanics, enjoyed murdering everybody, so that there was no war chiefs left at all in one area and all the other ones were under my control.
Right.
And then doing the last 2 story missions and having the achievements unlock when they should have done, and not having to replay the thing 5 times, which makes you think the game isn't as good because you're like, oh god, I played this 5 times.
Back to
So,
back.
Back to back. Coming back to it again, yeah, definitely a game I would recommend. So much fun.
Mm-hmm. The mechanics of that game are just really fun. I think the Nemesis
really
system
are.
just works really well, and it's just fun to cut orcs' heads off. It just, yeah.
Yeah, and get runes that give you like instant health back and
Yep.
more arrows, like +2 arrows each time you get a headshot or your focus refills fully. The best one was finding like you go find a snitch or a worm that will give you information, and then you go find that captain, use his weakness. The best ones were always stealth kills, insta kill.
Yeah.
So you're like, and then you'd go and brand a captain, or go and dominate him and find out like the war chief's weakness, and then turn all his bodyguards against him, and it was great.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good game,
Yeah.
and it was a good story, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
So.
And then you go ride a Graug and chase down some captains that are running around in the overworld, because you shouldn't be in the overworld. You should all be dead.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, really fun. So, yep. I don't really have too much more to say about Shadow of Mordor, because I probably talked about it a lot previously.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it on a previous ramblings when one or the other of us played it. So.
Yep. And I had a little moan then.
Yeah, but yeah, good game.
I'm hoping that there will be a sequel.
I hope so too. I mean, I think it did pretty well in terms of financial and critical reception. So.
Yeah. Let's just hope that Warner Brothers doesn't make it so it's not. Nah. You know, because some of the Warner Brothers games are not great reliability wise, like Batman Origins. Is it Origins? Batman Arkham Origins. That's what I meant.
Yep.
I heard that one had bugs.
Yes, I heard about the bugs too. That's one of the Arkham games that I haven't played. I also have not played Night yet, but I intend to. But I don't.
You intend to play Night,
Origins.
but you're not going to play Origins. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing for me was, well, I guess Metro 2033. I played it before. It was just going back and doing that stupid Explorer achievement where I had to go and play through half the thing again.
God, those guides annoyed you so much.
It was
They're
just...
like the sheer anger of, I've done this twice already, why have I got to do it again? Kind of thing.
Well, I only did it once, but yeah.
I know.
Yeah. But it's just the guide on True Achievements is not good for that Explorer thing.
I think I used a video guide.
Yeah, I ended up using a video guide as well, and that helped. I hate achievements like that where it's so
no one really knows
unclear
exactly what you need
to
do, and whether like certain areas are mandatory that you need to go to, or whether it's just like you need to hit 100 of these areas.
Exactly, and there's no tracker for it, no nothing, and so basically you're following some derp around a video guide, because my guy wasn't even talking, so it was like he goes here and then it's like he goes back over here, and it's like, well, do I have to go back over there for it to count, or can I just keep going, like you know, and then I circle around here twice and scratch my ass and
yodel and then go and throw a stone in a pond and then look forlornly at a tree.
Yep, for 20 minutes and 37 seconds exactly.
And then kill yourself.
And then kill yourself 5 times in a row. Yep. Madness. I don't know. I just, it was annoying because it makes the game not fun. Because I have to look over at a guide every 5 seconds. You know?
Yeah, using guides just lowers the enjoyment of games.
It just leeches the fun out of it.
I'm trying to think of the last one. Dead Space's guide was actually good.
Mm-hmm.
Hitman Blood Money and Hitman HD, following guides for those.
Yeah.
Did my head in.
Yeah. I don't know.
But the trouble is you need to do that on some, like, the Silent Assassin difficulties, because you just can't get through the level. Well, you can, but it's all trial and error and working out patterns and...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind so much if it's a certain difficulty and it's like, okay, I'm going to watch this whole video for this level and watch where they go and kind of what they do.
That's true.
A strategy for it, and then I'm going to play the level. Like, that's better than I'm going to walk forward 5 steps and pick up this bullet and then I'm going to look back at the thing and see where they walked next for the next 5 steps, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to walk those 5 steps, and then I'm going to go back to the thing and see where they walked next. Like, it's just
But that is
tedious.
literally what I had to do with Hitman, is like, get behind this door. How long do I have to wait? Right, that long.
Yeah.
Then go through the next door
Yeah.
and wait. And the worst thing, one thing I'll praise Thief for is that if you were doing the achievements to like not get seen, not kill anybody, do it on the hardest difficulty, you could put modifiers on. That as soon as something like that happened, you'd fail and go back to the last checkpoint. That works really well for me, because it's like, you know you haven't been seen because the game effectively kills you if you get seen.
Yep.
But whereas Hitman, it's like, you may or may not have been seen, and then you get to the end of the level and it's like, professional, and you're like, I need Silent Assassin. Shit.
Yep.
Because you have to play the whole level again because you failed. You know, like Jim Bob in the canteen saw you through a crack in a door.
Yep.
And it's like, great. Thanks, Jim Bob. I'm going to come shoot you in the face next time.
Good old Jim Bob. Pew! Yeah.
It's either Jim Bob or Dave.
Yep.
One of the two.
Jim Bob. So anyway, I finished Metro and was quite happy because my achievement did not pop at the same place where the person in the guide's achievement popped, and I was.
However, I was I think I was talking to you at the time and said someone else didn't get it until like the next.
Yeah, no, and I knew
on.
that. I knew that different people had reported getting it at different times, and so. You know, it's all just, again, like, who freaking knows what counted and what didn't, and, like, I didn't step in a puddle that the other guy did, and therefore, you know, I didn't get it. But I got it a little bit after that. It was within the same level, so it was cool.
Yes.
So that is done now, and I'm looking forward to Last Light, which does not have one of those achievements, I don't think.
I can't remember. But I don't think so.
I've looked at the achievements, and I don't believe that I saw one like that.
And I would say Last Light is a superior game.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
The mechanics
I'm hoping so.
Work a lot better.
Because 2033, it wasn't a bad game, but I would, after playing it, I wouldn't have said, like, oh yes, this is a great series.
Yeah, it kind of is a good introduction to that setting.
Yeah.
But Metro Last Light is definitely an improvement on the mechanics.
Yeah.
And
I would say the most interesting thing about 2033 was the ending and the stuff with the alien people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's one thing that annoyed me a little bit about Last Light.
Yeah.
They had to take one ending as canon.
Right, yeah. Well,
so it was like they took the one that I didn't choose as my canon ending. I was like, would have been nice to see the other one.
Yeah.
You know, because they could have. Well, I guess they couldn't have, but still. I'm looking forward to Last Light being done so that I can spoil it again for other people.
Yes, indeed. Because by now I've forgotten what you said about it. So
I know.
We're blind again.
I haven't, and I'm like, yay! I still remember, but you don't. So, my next game was The Fall, which was very, very cheap.
It's like $1 something.
It was literally like £1.70.
Yeah.
So, this is Iron Praetorian's month of dirt cheap games, starting with Dark Souls 2, then Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and then The Fall. And The Fall is a point-and-click adventure. You basically play as like a survival suit AI, so there's like a pilot inside you, and you like crash land on a planet, and then you have to solve a bunch of puzzles and do a bunch of things, and I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't played it yet. You have to do a bunch of puzzles and a bunch of things to effectively save your pilot, so get through. But the way it works is you have certain protocols that are shut off that you can't use. So, like, there's a cloak ability you can't use at the start, and there's, like, you can't use a gun. I think your gun may have been destroyed. But basically what you do is you put yourself in certain situations where if that ability doesn't unlock, it would cause your pilot to be killed because you'd be destroyed, so it unlocks the protocol. So it's like, this gun turret's going to destroy you and you have nowhere to go, so it activates the cloak. So I like that kind of thing.
That is cool.
You have to find situations to be able to activate certain parts of yourself. And I think there's a second part coming out, but I'm not sure when.
Right.
I just know that it's on True Achievements, but I think it might have a release date, but I can't remember what it is, but it hasn't got the achievements up yet.
Right.
But the mechanics were simple, the art style was simple but good, and the story I enjoyed, and I think you will too when you get round to playing.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the kind of sci-fi thing that I like, so...
Yeah. There's one achievement that annoyed me, and it's, you have to press this button really quickly. Rob mashes A. Doesn't unlock the achievement because Rob mashed A too early, and therefore A not hit at the right time. You have to play through it twice, got it second time, so it's fine.
Cool.
But I was like, really? And then it auto-saved straight afterwards, so I couldn't reload the checkpoint. Every other achievement, basically, you can reload the checkpoint as long as you don't go too far beyond. So there's one, like, you have to kill, I think it's 6 enemies really quickly. So you're basically, like, trying to headshot them. But yeah, no, that was the only annoying one, but having to play through it twice, it was fine.
Yeah.
Someone also said if you delete your save and then reload the cloud one, but it had already updated the cloud within, like, 30 seconds.
That sucks.
But you'll know the point at which.
Yeah, here's hoping that Dormouse doesn't derp in that spot. So
let Iron derp instead.
Yep. Oh dear. But it's short anyway.
I think everyone knows my name's Rob at this point anyway because we've said it before. So Iron Rob.
Iron Rob. Ah, cool. So the fall. I'm looking forward to playing that one. I also picked it up when it was dirt cheap, but I've been trying to get through a few of my backlog things. I have a couple left that I purchased last year, and I'm trying to clean them up.
We're not too close to the end of the year that you're likely not to get them finished.
Right. No, I think that I will. I only have a few.
I can't believe it's October already.
I know. It's craziness.
We'll give them an exact date of what time we
I know, right?
we recorded this.
We recorded this on October 8th at... It's 6... We started about a little after 6 p.m. for me.
Yeah, which was... Wow. 1 p.m.? No. Yeah, that does make sense because it's 7 hours difference.
1 in the morning for you?
Yeah, 1 in the morning my time. So yeah, it's currently 1:53 on the 9th of October.
Yep, 6:53 p.m. on the 8th of October. We are in different days at this point.
We are indeed.
All right. So my next thing was...
I just thought that was a funny little thing to add in so they could date when we recorded this.
Yep. So the next thing that I played was The Walking Dead Season 1 on the One. I had played it previously on the 360, but got it for free on the One ages ago.
Whereas I got both for free because I hadn't played either of them. Yeah,
because I had purchased the 360 version before it was Games with Gold. But
before it was cool.
Before it was cool.
Sorry.
And yeah, so it was getting to replay that, which was neat.
Yeah, because it kind of refreshes your mind about the story.
Yeah,
and also season 3's coming out
soon. And yeah, it's a really good game. I mean, I think that probably most everyone in the world has played it at this point, but
maybe not.
You know, it's a good game. Like, it's got a really good story. I think the protagonist is very relatable. It does a nice job of giving you the illusion of choice, as we've
but all Telltale games give you the illusion of choice.
Yeah, they do. Well, most games in general give you the illusion of choice. I mean, even like Deus Ex, right? Or Mass Effect even. Like, Mass Effect, I
they
think,
all end up at
does
the
have
end
a
point.
little bit
It's very similar.
of divergence.
Yeah, I guess because they have diverging endings.
And with like certain people being alive or not alive, and the state of the world being
that's
different
true.
things.
So maybe
because,
Mass
like,
Effect is
because it does like upload your choices and stuff from one game to the next. So I think that's a little bit different. But with
I'm
like,
not sure with Deus Ex whether it had a canon ending for Mankind.
I don't know.
No,
I think
Human
that,
Revolution,
I think that
or whether it's like because 2 years had passed, it didn't really
just
matter
didn't
which
matter.
one you chose.
Yeah, and I think that's
I think
how
I chose
a lot
to blow
of...
everything up. Like, I think I chose to blow the tower up. Like, you know that I think there was at the end of Human Revolution, there was like the
three main ones and then the fourth.
three main ones and the fourth, and I think I went for the fourth one, which was like just destroy the facility. Yeah. I think
which
that
is
was my
of course
canon
the one you did because it's the one where your character dies.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Why does my character always die? Because Rob's controlling me and he always sacrifices his life.
Yeah, but surprise, your character didn't die because he comes back for the sequel.
Well, it wasn't. It didn't exactly say that you died. It was like,
that's true.
You're more than likely going to die, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah.
But he's like Robot Man anyway, so if his arms, legs, and whatever else that are made of robotic parts get smashed off, they can always put new ones on.
Right, which they did.
As long as Jensen Corbett survives.
Yep. Oh my god. Anyway, the illusion of choice is what many of these games with choices have, because very rarely do you have things that diverge all that much.
Yeah.
Particularly from one game to the next. So, because it's hard for game developers to code so many divergent choices into a next game.
But I think like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age series are probably the best two.
Yeah.
For being able to be divergent with which characters are present and which aren't.
Yeah, but...
And how that affects the story. But
right.
The overall story doesn't necessarily get affected that much.
Exactly. The overall story
So that's why
is
I mean
usually...
it's not as divergent.
Yeah, it's illusion of choice. So, anyway, Walking Dead, good job with illusion of choice. You feel like you're making decisions and whatever and whatnot, even though you are pretty much on a set path. But the characters are interesting.
Basically, it's like your destination is always the same, but the journey that you have is different to other people's.
A little bit.
Yeah, because it's like you start off at one checkpoint, they start off at one checkpoint, you take different routes. I'm doing it with my fingers, you can't see. And then you end up at the same bit at the end.
Right.
And you've taken completely different journeys, but you always end up at the same point at the end.
Right. Except not really completely different journeys, because everybody plays through the same areas. You know, it's just a different flavor to your journey. So you can be kind of an asshole.
Fine.
You can build up
there's
a relationship
7%
with
of people
someone.
that took journey 1. There's 2% that took journey 2. There's 11%.
No, what
that
I'm
took
saying
journey
is
3.
that everybody, you know, goes with Clementine at the beginning and, you know, meets up with these people and has to leave the farm. And then
they're the set points.
Those are the set
points. You have
points.
different choices of how to get to those points by what you say in the conversation.
Sure.
Kind of thing. That's what I mean by different journeys. So it's like, you know, you and I could have 5 different decisions, but we still end up with leaving with Clementine.
Yes.
And then we start off in the next part and
at the
diverge
same
a bit,
place.
and then end up at the same point.
It's different. What I'm saying is that it's not really a different journey because we're each doing the same things steps along the way. It's a different flavor
is a different
to
journey
the journey because of the difference in, like, you know, oh, I chose to talk to this character or not talk to them, or I choose to, like, have
so
a
therefore
pretty
your
good
journey's
relationship
different
with them
because
or
you didn't
not.
talk to that person, but I did.
A little bit.
That's the journey.
A little bit.
The journey is the whole thing. It's not just like where my feet took me and I chose not to talk to Dave next to me.
Right.
It's like, well, you chose to talk to Dave and I didn't, so therefore our journeys are different.
Right. experience.
Or you
different.
saved. Yeah, but that's the journey. What I mean by journey is like
Emotional
how you get from A to B.
journey, like
Yeah.
a not literal journey.
Yeah, you go through the same areas, but you take fine. You have a different path, different whatever.
I know what you're saying. I'm
Hairs with
just
semantics.
I'm just pissing you off at this point.
I know you are. It's like Jesus.
Evil.
I'll take a different journey if you want. I'll play a different game, and then get
Evil
to
cleavage music.
just yeah.
So anyway, it's a good game. If you are the one, in a bajillion people who haven't played it, you should play The Walking Dead. It's fun. It's a cool story.
I still reckon there is a few people that haven't played it.
I'm sure that there are. Well, because
'Cause I
not
literally
everybody's
didn't-
interested in The Walking Dead.
Exactly, and it's like I didn't play it until it was free.
Right.
That might have been my first Telltale game. Or I don't know, maybe I played Tales from the Borderlands first.
I think you did.
But anyway, there's Telltale Batman now as well, which
Yeah.
we should probably wait until it's fully complete and then
Get it. Mm-hmm.
because I was like, oh, Achievement Hunter are playing. Nope, I'm not going to watch that because I'm going to spoil myself.
Yeah. I saw that Arsh played it, but I didn't look at his either. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Your next one is
Destiny. What's your next one?
Lego Marvel Superheroes.
You can do Lego Marvel if you want, or do you want me to talk about Destiny? Because I might go off for a while.
You're funny. I'll briefly talk about Lego Marvel. So, I mean, it's a Lego game. It's Marvel Superheroes. It's cute. It's funny.
And it's rage-inducing.
And it's rage-inducing.
It's so funny.
I'm angry at this game.
Why are the flying mechanics terrible?
God, they're
Why do I keep
terrible.
stop
They're
flying?
so terrible.
Because the B button on your controller is
button
broken.
on my controller
The
is
game
sticky
sucks. The game's terrible.
And so it keeps making me go out of flight instead of staying in flight, and I'm like, and already it's wrong because I can't invert my controls.
And I'd been listening to you for about 2 hours at this point, not knowing that the B button was broken. Then the news came through. Oh yeah, my B button's a bit broken, because I was talking about controller sticks and how I wear them out, and you were like, yeah, the B button doesn't work. And I was like, what's the stop flying button in that game? B. That's why the flying doesn't work properly. Oh, yeah, it's probably right. So therefore you're raging at the game, but it's your controller.
Yeah, but also the flight controls are shitty. They are.
The flight controls for me were easier because I don't invert my controls, so I think I had an easier time. But because you were going from you didn't have the invert option on your normal controls.
Yeah.
It's all a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. But even looking up, because as I was following the little guides for 100% completion or whatnot, there were people complaining about the flight mechanics. So it's not just me that had this problem.
But they might also be the people that invert their controls.
It's possible.
So
That's possible.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree with you that the flight mechanics in Lego games are not the best.
right.
I didn't like the flight mechanics in Lego Batman 2.
Yeah. And
Superman, you suck.
I don't remember having a problem with them, but I don't think there were that many of those stupid
That might
fly
be why.
through the rings bullshit.
Also, my B button could have been broken at the time.
Right, yeah. Haha.
Because I know I have worn out a B button on one of my controllers.
Yeah,
So.
those buttons, they get worn out.
Yeah, I've damaged my first Xbox One controller. The A button no longer works due to jumping in Destiny repeatedly.
Ay. So anyway, Lego Marvel, it included pretty much every Marvel character of any importance ever.
Even Howard the Duck.
Even Howard the Duck. And the flight mechanics were poopy, but
The story was good.
The story was
I thought
pretty
that
good.
was
Yeah,
fun.
the story
And
was
how
pretty
they
good.
converged all the different, have X-Men and Fantastic Four and Avengers and
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of all together. Kind of, but they were on side missions, so I guess they don't count.
Right. But yeah, it was cool how they included so many of the characters in the main story and not just have them as like the bonus characters that you could play as. So
and then it started a discussion of who would trade out for who in our Avengers.
Right, like who our actual team would be, and we decided that we keep Iron Man and we'd keep Captain America. And
we'd trade out male Thor for female Thor because they changed.
Right.
I think I made a joke that I'd trade out Hawkeye for Legolas and then realised he wasn't actually an Avenger. No, I think I was trading Hawkeye out for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think I traded Hulk out for Wolverine.
Yeah, I would do the same.
And I'm not sure what we did with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, because I mean, I like Black Widow. But I also like, like some of the X-Men characters as well. So I mean, I like Storm, I like Kitty, I like... I mean, Phoenix has cool powers. I don't particularly like her portrayal.
Or Jean Grey, the alter ego.
Yeah.
Cyclops is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember who we put in for Black Widow. We did put somebody else in. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, female Thor, and someone else.
Yeah.
Because I think we put female Thor in for Black Widow so that there was a lady.
Right.
I can't remember, and it's really annoying me now.
Uh-huh. I know, I'm like, I need to see the characters and whatnot. So.
It wasn't Black Panther, because we talked about him.
Yeah, because Black Panther's cool. And neither one of us is that fussed with Deadpool.
Nope.
So, not him.
No. It might come back to us later when I'm like midway through Destiny.
Right. So, anyway, we talked about Marvel superheroes, and that was cool. And, yeah. It's a Lego game. It was cute. It was fun.
Yeah, Lego games are usually fun.
Yeah. It had a little bit of grind to it, collecting all the stuff, and I didn't like the flight controls.
As I've said before, the Lego Movie one was my least favourite just for the amount of money I paid for it, and then it was like half as long as any other one.
Yeah. But that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're buying them now when they're cheaper.
No, but I bought it release day, full price, £40. And...
I know, and it just felt not worth it, but... sometimes
and also the
artificial
trouble with the newer
grind
Lego...
is kind of bleh.
Yeah, and also the newer Lego games and their season passes I don't really see why they need them.
They don't. They just want more money. That's all. So, anyway, yeah, it was cool. I'm glad I got it for $5, which was my price point. That's pretty much my price point for all Lego games. I want to pay $5 for them. So...
so you wait
a
while to get them.
Till they're older, like this one. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Destiny.
So Rise of Iron came out, and I was like, my gamer tag is Iron Praetorian. This was made for me. So that's fine. So I hopped on and started beavering away at getting my light level up, as I do. Like a crazy creature.
Beavering away? Hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Have you never heard that term of phrase because it means something else in America, or?
I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard it used as a verb.
Yeah,
but
beavering away just means like working hard,
I get,
putting the hours in.
Yeah.
So that might be a UKism again.
Yep. Okay.
Beavering away.
Carry on.
You're gonna have a little laugh to yourself now.
I just couldn't let that one go.
No? Okay. So I was working hard at getting my light level up. So, Rise of Iron was, I think, £25. And content-wise, you get, I think, about 5 story missions, strike, couple of new multiplayer maps, although one of those might be a PlayStation 1, I'm really not sure, and a new raid. You okay? So started playing through the story. Thought the story was quite interesting. I might go into spoiler territory, just because it's Destiny, and people may not have played The Rise of Iron yet, but there's plenty online of everything. And so basically, you start working with Lord Saladin, who's basically been running the Iron Banner multiplayer competition for like the last 2 years, who leaves his post and sends you on a mission to retake the Iron Temple, which turns out to be where the Iron Lords were based. And the Iron Lords are basically what came before Guardians. So they were like users of the light, but they weren't Guardians, so I don't know if they had ghosts or not. So it's kind of like they thought they couldn't die, which is a bit funny, because, spoilers, all of them, apart from like 3 that I know of, are dead. But they basically were trying to help humanity rebuild after the collapse, and they found this thing called Siva, which turns out to be I think it's like an AI kind of swarm thing that can break down anything and turn it into other things, and they wanted to use it to rebuild technology to help humanity resurface again from the Dark Ages, but it turns out it's basically gone rampant. So they tried to assault the area where Siva's being kept, and Rasputin, who's the warmind who's been in it previously, basically killed nearly all of them himself, and was speaking to them in Russian, and they couldn't understand him. And I think what he was trying to say was, please don't go in there, you're going to release something really, really bad. You guys aren't listening to me. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to shoot you now. So only 9 of them made it to the final building, and they basically find out to their cost that Siva's rampant, and all of them bar Saladin die, because Jolda, who's a female titan, locks them in the room and blows it up, or blows it up to seal it shut, and kills herself and everyone else. So you are told by Lord Saladin that Siva's reappeared, and, funnily enough, it's brought back Sepix Prime, our favourite glowing eyeball from the first strike in Destiny. So he's now like cyborg Sepix. Cyborg Sepix Prime, and you follow a bunch of clues and find out that the House of Devils Fallen have been using Siva to splice themselves. So we now have the awesomely named Peg Dregs, because they have peg legs and they're dregs. And so that basically enabled them to introduce a new area of the Cosmodrome that's called the Plague Lands. That's all covered in Siva, and all the Siva-based troops like Vandals and Shanks and stuff, so they're like more powerful. And you follow the story through and go back and blow up the room that Siva's in and fight Siva-controlled Iron Lords, which was quite cool. You get some new weapons. You get to use this giant flaming axe that you can just pummel people with and send out jets of fire along the ground, which was great fun for me, because I like bashing things in close combat, as you know.
Yes.
Because whenever we play, it's always, where's the biggest hammer? Well, apart from Dark Souls, because big hammers get me killed.
Right.
So, yeah, you destroy the building, and then you have effectively finished the story. You go back, do a few of the ancillary quests, like go to this area, do a strike to clear out an area, and so on. And then you do the grind to get up to 385 light, which took me about 2 weeks, I think, on all 3 of my characters. But I had fun doing it. And then you do the raid. And the raid is a lot of fun. I definitely found that raid a lot more fun than Oryx's raid.
Mm-hmm. The Oryx raid
so
was just... it just wasn't great.
The trouble for me is I really like the Taken King for what they did to Destiny, the whole infusion thing and light level and XP level and stuff, and being able to keep the weapons you like and infuse them with newer ones to put them up to higher light level. That worked really well. Didn't like the Taken enemies at all. Didn't like the Taken raid either. The Taken raid was far too hard at the end. Oryx was just, for us, when we did it on hard, even though we're competent Destiny players,
yeah,
it's just luck. We just had to get lucky.
Yeah, because you have your strategy. Everybody knows what to do, and yet it still screws you because of A, it's Destiny.
Yeah, We got Destinied a couple of times doing the raid the other night, where it was like someone threw a charge to take a guy's shields down, phased straight through him,
Yep.
and then we all died.
Destiny.
No, so the raid has effectively like 3 bosses, but the middle one is kind of not a boss. So I'm gonna spoil because I'm me and I like spoiling.
Yes.
So you've been warned.
You do.
But basically, the start of the raid is like you're outside this giant crashed sentinel. No, what the hell are the eyes called? The big floaty ones. If they're called, I'm just losing my mind because I'm tired. Not shanks.
Are they
the
not
other ones?
sentinels?
Are they sentinels? Am I right?
The big floating eye things. We know what
Yeah.
you mean.
Yeah, those things. Anyway, so there's a crashed big one of those, and there's a bunch of like, there's 3 generators, and basically what you do is you have to charge the generators, and once you start charging them by picking up these beams of light, so you have one person sit back and defend, you split into 3 groups of 2, and then you have one person run around, pick up the charges. You need to pick up 4, and then it will charge the generator, but a boss appears in the middle, and he has like an invulnerable shield. So what you have to do is charge the generators, and it will drop bombs down, and you pick the bombs up and throw them at the boss, and that will take his shield down, and then you do damage on him until his shield goes back up, and then you rinse and repeat again. But the trouble is they have these giant shanks that come out and want to eat the voltage from your charged generators, so that they're called like voltage eaters or consumers or something. So that's why you have to have someone defending the generator, because you need to shoot the shank. So once you've got his health really low, he turns into a pansy and runs away. He's like, they're gonna kill me. So he runs off. He's like, run away. So then you have a little mini jumping puzzle, which is fine because it's just girders, like girder platforms. It's not like ships that disappear or giant rams that smash you off ledges and things. And then you basically get into his boss battle, which is he has that invulnerability shield again, and he drops like shanks from the ceiling, so you have to kill them until I think a captain appears. You kill the captain, and then it will drop a bomb on each side, so you're in 3 groups of 2 again. And you each throw your bomb at the same time. And when you throw them all together, it does like triple damage or something. Like they all combine together to damage his shield. And then he'll try and do this like big kill you attack, but he telegraphs it by there's like a bunch of monitors all on the back wall, like computer screens, and he'll put up a little like insignia on the screen that you have to shoot so that he doesn't do it.
It's like it's like one of those mwahaha
pretty
things.
much moments. So you do that, and you rinse and repeat until you take his shield down and do damage, and then he'll do his FU attack. So they have clean rooms, 2 on each side, so it's a manic rush to like back left, so everyone's like running like mad people to get to the door. But the first guy in there is like, if he knows that like Tim and Greg aren't going to make it, he shoots the button on the door and closes the door off, so 4 people live and they get killed, so you see them burn against the door like and it's like, yeah, we'll get you up in a minute, mate, it's fine. So you do that, and you rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. Then there's another jumping puzzle. And then, I think is probably my favourite boss, and I'd say it in inverted commas, of the raid, and it's called the Siege Engine, which is kind of a mechanic we've never had before. Basically what happens is, you end up on a wall, and this Siege Engine starts chasing you, so you have to shoot its turrets off and then blow up its main core, and it will smash through one wall, but then it breaks itself, and starts to self-destruct. So what you have to do is run down the other end of the wall, and a dropship appears. You kill the captain underneath it, and then the dropship drops a bunch of spare parts on your head. And then you have to pick the spare parts up and run it back to the siege engine before the siege engine explodes. But the problem is you can only carry 1 part for 10 seconds. So you basically are like split into teams of 2 again. One person grabs it, the other one defends them, or the other 3 that aren't carrying them defend them, and then you swap. so that you keep it moving, because if you take too long, the siege engine explodes and kills you. But I thought that was a cool mechanic. It's like you're carrying basically spare parts to go and repair something.
Right.
It's like, doo, 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 doo. And then you repair the siege engine, smash through the wall, and you're effectively in... It's like a big computer core area thing, which effectively isn't anything to do with... Well, it's not like any boss or anything to do with the raid, but there's like an exotic you can get by solving a binary sequence and then inputting it on this computer thing, and it's all an annoyance. But you need to basically find 4 computer monitors in the raid before you beat the final boss, and then it opens up some... Yeah, but anyway, that's an aside that I can't be bothered with. And then you get to the final boss, who's like this captain guy covered in like tendrils of Siva. And you basically have like a phase, it's like 2 phases to the boss fight with a checkpoint. And you basically you do the whole bomb thing again, but this time, instead of the bombs dropping from the ceiling, they're being carried by servitors. Not sentinels, servitors. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
So they're being carried by servitors, but the servitors can only be destroyed by a particular cannon that's being carried by a captain. So you have to just destroy the servitors, pick up the bombs, and then he has like some nodes on the wall that you need to throw them at. And you have to do like 3 rounds of that with more nodes each time. And then you get the final boss battle, where he's like levitating off the floor in the first part, and then somehow magically he has spider legs in the second part, because he has like a robot body underneath him that's like spider legs.
Everybody needs spider legs.
And then you basically run the same mechanic again, where you have to destroy the servitors with the cannons from the captains to throw the bombs at him to take his shield down. And then when you get his shield down, he starts teleporting around the room. And when he teleports around the room, you'll have 3 people that are empowered, which means that they can jump on his back and stun him, and then you can do damage to him. And the first phase is very short, the second phase is kind of long, and then the third phase is like everyone who's highest level grabs a cannon and starts firing at him. And then he'll do his big FU attack, and you run to the back of the room, and there's like 4 columns again that are safe. So you can stand on those, so you effectively have 5 damage phases to be able to kill the boss. And we finally did that last night for the first time, after like a week and a half of trying.
Yeah. Whenever you describe the raids, all of the... I mean, I'm listening to you, but it's like trying to imagine all of that stuff happening is hard for my brain. I don't know.
And let alone to coordinate with everybody doing it all at the same time.
Right.
And like,
just like
this guy's teleporting here and
like,
you need to be over there. And
basically, all I hear is you do some complicated shit, and then you can damage a boss. And then you do some more complicated shit. And then you can damage him a little bit more. And then you do some more complicated shit. And then you might kill him. And then you do that 4 more times with different bosses.
It pretty much is exactly what the raid is like. Yeah. It's like you just get the pattern down and do it.
I mean, it's the same way with everything else. Like, it's hard to describe to someone who like hasn't seen it. You know?
Yeah.
Hasn't done
But anyway, so I was enjoying myself getting up to 385 light on all 3 of my characters, because they made it so you could get up to 365 by doing the heroic strikes, and then to get to 385 you need to get like exotic engrams to drop and increase your faction rep and stuff. So I was doing that, and you can also open loot chests at the end of the strikes with keys and stuff. So yeah, I was spending a lot of time doing Destiny the last week.
And then you had a lot of fun doing the Iron Banner. I remember
I did have a lot of fun doing the Iron
that
Banner.
you had
Also
doing the Iron Banner the first time with your Titan.
I was as grumpy as you were with the flying mechanics in
I think it's
Lego.
possible you were slightly grumpier than I was. Because
No. I think we were the same.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't realise quite how grumpy you were. This game sucks, it's terrible. I don't know why play Lego games, they're a waste of time. It's like, Well, because your B button's broken. Your sarcasm isn't helping. And then it's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, all hunters are terrible. Why are they a thing? Why are warlocks a thing? Titan master race. No, I wasn't really quite that bad. But I was like,
it's close. It's close. It's like, oh, Titans get nothing. Titans can't do anything. Meanwhile, you have all the kills.
no, I was losing a lot. That was the problem. No, the trouble I have is having T-Rex arms as a Titan really gets on my nerves.
Yeah. I really don't understand why the melee distance is different.
No, I don't either. No, Iron Banner was fun afterwards.
Yeah, after you did what you wanted to do and were just messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when I was getting my other characters up, because they give you twice the XP.
Yeah.
Once you've got one character up to rank 5. But they have, like, the Iron... at the end of the Taken King, they gave you a book to do, like, your Year 2 Moments of Triumph thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that now, but it's called the Iron Book. And it's like, they basically have it from the start. So
That's
that
cool.
you do all the stuff in that. And each time, I think it's each time you rank up twice, you get some gear for it. So it'll give you, like, a full set of legendary armor for you, both, like, your classes or an emblem or a ship. And stuff like that. It's not the best leveled stuff, but you can level it up if you want it.
Right, you can infuse it.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I'm aiming for a silver and gold coloured original ship that's like level 20, and I think the highest is like level 24 or whatever, and I'm at 18 now, I think, or 16. So I have a few things I need to do to get my level up.
Yeah.
And I was working through the achievements as well. There's one for getting like artifacts that you can only get 3 per week. So I got that one done week 3, which was cool.
Yep.
So yeah, all I'm waiting for now is the hard raid, and I think I probably need to have a break from Destiny and play something else, or play Destiny a bit less and play something else.
Yeah. So what's on your plate, do you think?
On my plate is some chicken and potatoes. No,
steak.
Yeah, steak would be nice. So, yeah, I have... Let's see. Trying to work out which ones we're going to play together at some point and which ones a single player. So, I have that Games with Gold Earthlock Festival of Magic that I want to play soonish.
Yeah, that looks
Beyond
pretty
Good and Evil
interesting.
HD, that one's fairly short. Because I think it's like the arcade.
Yeah, it's like
an
8-10
arcade title.
hours. 12.
Yeah,
maybe.
Tron Evolution. I think Tron Evolution will be the one that I start next, because that's the one I keep putting off.
Yeah.
Like, because other things I want to play more come out, and it's a Games with Gold. I have Metro Last Light Redux and 2033 Redux to play, because they were like £6 for the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those 5, but probably Tron Evolution. And I'll probably start it tomorrow.
Very cool.
Or later today.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. For me, I guess Metro...
And I'm also considering Deus Ex DLC, maybe.
Yeah.
And the Tomb Raider DLC comes out on Tuesday.
That's right. Because
And that'll be co-op.
They have the special Tomb Raider DLC for the 20th anniversary and for the release on PS4. So we'll have some more stuff to play on there for both of us. And for me, probably Metro Last Light will be my next thing that I have. But I may not start that yet because Gears of War 4 comes out next week.
Yeah, and you pre-ordered that one.
And I have that pre-ordered, so I will probably play that one next, and then, that one will last until the end of time, because seriously, which I may or may not even go for. I don't know.
I'm not even touching that game at all.
I don't blame
Gears
you.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition just put me off Gears. The co-op's fine, but the multiplayer can go do one.
Yeah, the multiplayer really, we're just not multiplayer people, and the things just want you to play it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But, you know, I mean, I've done all the other ones except for Judgment. And so I probably will do this one on my main. So, but
yeah, I mean, you might as well if you've done the other
ones. It doesn't mean
ones.
that I'll necessarily get seriously. It's too much time and that I don't have.
And it's also you have to re-up 10 times.
Yeah.
Which is madness.
Yeah.
Even with the good XP system that was in like 3. And
Ultimate
the
Edition, yeah.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid, the requirements for those things. And they do it on purpose, because when they started with the first one, it was stupid. And
it's just one-upping themselves.
Yeah, and then they have to, like, make it stupider and stupider each time. And I just really don't understand that. Like, I mean, they could still have something that was that had some requirements that didn't make you play it for 1,000 years, you know? Or, like, it's the only thing that you play for an entire year. Or something like that. Like, it's just ridiculous. I dislike immensely that they make that a thing. But they do. So that people can get it, and it makes their balls feel bigger. So,
well, they should get the brass balls achievement from the new BioShock.
Yeah. But those are fine because they don't take an age to do them.
That's true.
You know.
They should get all the multiplayer achievements on the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
That didn't make my balls feel any bigger.
No, it didn't make my balls feel any bigger either.
Well,
we
boosted all of yours, and then I tried to do mine legit, and the system just broke and wouldn't let me.
I don't get the mentality of wanting something to be ridiculous so that a very, very small number of people can feel like they're amazing. When they're really not, they just put in the time to do something, you know?
Yeah.
It just...
But then that's why I've kind of gone from the mentality of I must complete as many games as possible in as short as time possible to why was I doing that? It's not fun. Does it really matter if I'm in the top 5? If I can get it and play it for fun, cool. If not, doesn't bother me anymore. Doesn't bother me that people that have lower gamer score than me on my friends list are going to overtake me at some point in the future. It's just kind of like you just get into that mentality of I need to finish this quickly. I need this number of games complete this year. I need this number of gamer score. And it kind of blinds you to the fact that you've just spent £40 on a game, completed it in 3 days, and are now on to the next £30 game, and you haven't enjoyed it at all. You can't remember the story.
Yeah.
And it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And it's, looking back at last year, the amount of games with gold games I had that enabled me to get to 67,000 gamer score in a year is like 3 times the amount I've had this year, because I've played them all, because I already have half of them anyway, or don't want to touch them with a barge pole.
Right. Or, you know, you mad dashed through them last year and the beginning of this year, and
yeah, that's true.
And now they're all gone. The ones that you
pretty much.
The ones that you wanted to do.
I literally have like 8 games left, and like 2 of those we have multiplayer or co-op to do together.
Yeah.
I think Rise and Sunset Overdrive,
which we might play eventually.
Maybe.
We will. I want to play it.
So do I, but we had the hiatus from co-op games this month.
Yeah.
Wow. These months. Like end of September, October.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then... Yeah. And with working now, I have more money, which means that I'm able to buy more top-tier games.
Right.
You know,
rather than trying to buy
release.
a bunch of
shitty short ones. Well, they're not really shitty. I mean, like, the only bad ones I'd say were probably like Spectra.
Yeah.
And
Charlie Murder and
Charlie Murder was free.
I know.
I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Dead
Nero,
Island
probably.
Riptide.
Dead Island Riptide was fine once, but I played it through twice, and that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Nero. I mean, Clockwork was a nice little game. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those that I bought because I was bored. And maybe Beyond Eyes was a good little game, but like I think I bought it for £6 and it wasn't worth that amount of money.
Yeah. So, in any case, just trying to have a little bit more fun instead of making.
And also, I have
crazy.
less time.
Yeah. I mean, it is a thing that when you get to the point in your life where you have a job and you have other responsibilities and you have this and you have that, some of those types of achievement hunting or some of those types of achievements just start to really lose their luster, because it's like you realize how much time you're putting into something that you aren't enjoying, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Anyway, after that little trip down negativity lane.
I wouldn't say it's negative. I think it's just not. Putting things into perspective of enjoying myself again.
Yeah.
It's like I think the hard raid comes out on the 19th, which is like 10 days. So if I play Tron and then play Tomb Raider and then maybe play the DLC for Deus Ex and then play Destiny, and then it will be like probably a week or two to try and get the hard raid done, or I'll give up and come back in like a month or two like I did before to try and get it done.
Right.
By that point it will have been my birthday, which means I'll have some money to buy some other games that I really want to play, maybe like
Skyrim.
Well, Skyrim I'm definitely getting from the parents. Quantum Break I want to play.
Yeah. But
it hasn't gone down in price yet, which is annoying.
Yeah.
I want to play Recore.
Yeah.
And I haven't really decided whether I'm going to get Watch Dogs Day 1 or not, but probably not, because I want to get Dishonored. And Dishonored comes out early November,
right.
So that's another one to play.
Yep.
Which means that my backlog may not get taken care of yet, but hopefully by the end of the year. And then, like we were looking back the other day at our period summaries for different years, and looking back to when I wasn't continuously playing games, I was getting around 20,000, but I think it would be more than likely 30,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And also, I've been trying to watch more television because I have literally have like a DVR full of stuff I need to watch.
I know.
From this time last year.
Yeah.
It's like, it's mad how much time I spent gaming, and also because of what time I play, I have to move my box up and downstairs if I want to play in the evenings, because the family are downstairs.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it saves me having to move my box up and downstairs like 4 times a week, I'll just sit and watch TV for a few hours.
Oh goodness. Alrighty, well, that's cool, and hopefully we will have more of these. Hopefully we won't get sucked into the ether of whatever it is that we're doing instead of recording stuff. So
yeah, it should be fine. We'll try and get, well, if we're playing less games, they might not be as frequent as they used to be. Because we might not have enough to talk about, but we could talk about other things.
But we've had, effectively like maybe 4 games that we actually talked about, and we're at an hour and 35 minutes. So I think that we will have enough material. So.
We can fill the time, even if it's only an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so hopefully, but don't hold your breath, I will have got Tron Legacy done by the next time we have one of these conversations.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And hopefully I will have played some Gears of War 4, so I'll have an actual new game to talk about.
And hopefully both of us will have played the Tomb Raider DLC together.
Yes. So we'll have some new stuff to talk about instead of all,
and that's
all
the
this
funny
old
thing,
shit.
Bethesda. Looking at you, Bethesda, it seems like, Square Enix included their new content for free to people that already have the season pass. The new content?
Yeah.
For Rise of the Tomb Raider, Bethesda?
Yeah.
Instead of upping the price to double for 2 bits of crap and something that was relatively good.
Mm-hmm.
This makes you laugh.
Yeah.
But I think a conversation about DLC will happen
at some
another
point.
day.
Yep, another day. Alrighty. Well, thanks for rambling with us, guys, and we will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.